Good day, good morning, good evening. This is YieldMax man. This is YieldMax Mindset coming to you. This is, I believe, week 27. It has been more than a month since I last dropped a portfolio review. And always, if income is the strategy and it pays, we pay attention, and that is the YieldMax Mindset. All right, so let's do this right quick. See when's the last time I did a video. All right, so we know it's been over a month because this is the last time I did a portfolio review. That was week 20. And of course, I did some dividends, distribution announcements for different funds. And it looked like I was up to doing 5 a week. One from, no, yeah, Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 on Friday, I think, or 2 on Thursday. I can't remember. I just had started doing that, as you can see. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I did 5 that week. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it was actually 3 that week. And it looked like I was just doing 1. Then I started getting up to more. Um, that initially and probably won't continue going forward. It'll probably just be the portfolio review for right now, because the amount of time that was taken for me to get this content for the distribution announcement, it was time consuming. And so I was actually using my breaks and my lunch to try to get these videos and have them out ready in that morning. So right now, that won't be the case. If I do a distribution announcement, it'll be in a short. It'll be in a short form video, YouTube short. I think you have to keep it under 3 minutes, and not it becomes a video like this one, supposed to be in just a YouTube short. But anyway, as I say, if income is the strategy and it pays, we pay attention. All right. So since it's been a while, all right. So this is I believe week 27. I believe that's what we got. All right. So let's look. This is going to hopefully be a very short video. We're just going to hit a RobinHood portfolio, a Charles Schwab portfolio, and I think that will be it. And we'll be out. I may do Q&A. Shouldn't be much out there. But anyway, let's get to it, people. All right, let me move this out of the way here so I can see. All right, so right now, you can see the time. All right. All right, so this is our individual, which is our margin account. And I'm being told, I ain't said I'm being told, but the things that I'm getting is that China right now, the futures is down. China market is being hit very, very hard from what I'm gathering. So I don't know if it's going to be a bloodbath tomorrow. I guess it depends on what sectors you're in. And you can see here all is at 110. First time since 2022. All right, let's hit our portfolio. All right, so let's do this. All right, so 72.37 is what we're looking at right now. You can see we was around the 74 range all weekend. Live, we're up in the past hour, we're up $16.69. For the day, we're down $207. For the past week, we're actually up $658. That include the market going up some, and we're getting dividends. For this week was about 600. I believe about $629. You can see the month we're down $1,058. For the past 3 months, we're down $11,700. Year to date, so far this year, we're down $8,228. For the past year, we're down $17,444. And all time, we are down $17,642. As you can see back here in August of 2025, we was at 61. It was higher than that. I think it got up to 81. I'm not sure. Well, I guess I've transferred, I know, 10K over into the cash account. All right. So our margin is at 14. Is that right? Yeah, available margin is at 14,156. We borrowed 10,492, and we have a buffer of 3,664, which is 13.34%. All right. Says low risk, but that may not be the case tomorrow. First $1,000 is free. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is just a portfolio review. All right. Let's see here. Daily interest is at 132. Okay. So if you have less than 5,000 in your account, the interest rate is 5%. Between 50K and 100K is 4.8, and so forth and so forth. The first 1,000 is free if you have a gold membership. All right, I think that's it. So now we're going to review our positions in the margin account. First up is Bitwise ICOI. Closed Friday at 12.97. Market value is at $648.50. We're down $223. Average cost of $17.48 for 50 shares. Last distribution. Let's see here. How many shares did I say? 50. So this is the wrong account. I don't understand why it does that. All right. All right. So our market value is $7,782. We're down $4,573. Average cost of $20.59 for 600 shares. Portfolio diversity is 42.93. All right, so the margin maintenance is going back up to 45%, and that came down to 25. All right, and let's check out. All right, so March the 2nd, we had 600 shares, got paid out 0.6149. That gave us $368.95. Prior to that, same thing, 600 shares, 50.5028. We got 301.70. And prior to that, well, we bought 100 shares. All right. So that's it for that one. All right, next. RobinHood. All right. So our RobinHood is at 74.53. It's down 256 in the overnight market. Our market value is at $7,460. We're currently down $5,565. Average cost is 130.19, 100 shares. If this thing run down tomorrow, we may be getting margin call if it's bad as what they say it is. All right. So there's no dividends on this account, because this is an actual stock, not an ETF. Same thing with SoFi, 17.98. Over market is down 92 cents. Is it doing that? All right. So our market value is $1,798. We're down $980. Average cost of $27.79 for 100 shares. All right. There's no distribution for this position because it's an actual single stock. Okay, we do have Dogecoin. All right, let's take a look at it. It's at 0.09. Equity is at 682. We're down $744. And our average cost is 18 cents. All right. All right, so now we're heading to my cash account. Cash account, you can see we're down $87. The actual value is 81.41. We're down $87 for the week. We are up $99.50. For the month, we're down $176. Past 3 months, we're down $1,931. Year to date, we're down $1,637. Past year, 1,842. It's probably going to be the same because it hasn't been that long. All right. So we started here with about 10,000, and the count is at 8141. Right. So our buying power is at $426. Okay. All right. We're earning interest on $394.46 at 3.35%. And let's see here. Our next payday is March the 31st. And we've earned 29 cents for the month. All right. All right. So let's get our first position here. All right. First up is Bitwise XRP ETF 1520. It's actually up 3 cents in the overnight market. Surprise. All right, so we have $380 market value. We're down $207. 23.51 is our average cost for 25 shares. This is not a dividend paying ETF here. All right. This one is Bitwise Coin, which is their version of Coney. Yeah, I say their version of Coney, but it's off Coinbase. All right, $12.97. We was covering this earlier. So the market value is 648. We're down to 23. Average cost is 17.45 for 50 shares. All right. We got some dividends here for 50 shares. Paid out 61.49. Gave us $30.75 off 50 shares. And prior to that, we got 25.14. That's like we added 25 shares there. All right, cool. Next up is Netflix. So this is not a ETF. This is actual underlining. Oh, Netflix. Do I have a story with Netflix? Man. So let's go back over here right quick. What was that stock symbol? NFLX. NFLX. All right. So let's go look at the history here. Man, this one I do not like, people. All right. So as you can see here, December the 5th of 2025, I bought 100 shares at $100. Now this was shortly after Netflix had did their split. You know, I think it was a 10-for-1 split or something like that. Let's see. Let's figure out exactly when that was. How about that, people? Some of you are already probably know. Let's see here. Let's go to Yahoo. They're pretty good at that, right? So this is how you look to see if a stock has ever did a stock. You put in the symbol, you go to historical data. You come over here, you can just go max. And if you want to see the dividends, you hit here. But if you want to see, all right, it's hesitating. All right. Pause. Is it going this? What in the world is going on? What's going on with my computer? All right, not sure what happened there. All right, so as I was saying, you put in the symbol, go to historical data. You can go max or however you want to go back. Click here. You can see the dividends or you can go to stock split, right? So The first one happened in February of 2004. They did a 2-for-1 split. All right. Then we're looking at almost 11 years, I think. July the 15th, did a 7-for-1 split. And then 10 years later, they did a 10-for-1 split, which was November the 17th. All right. November the 17th, right? So December the 5th, your homeboy bought 100 shares, right? At $147. About a month later, she dipped to 91.84, and I bought 200 shares. I doubled up, right? So I think my average cost ended up being like 94 something, right? It's pretty good, right? All right, then the market started to dip again, and I think I got margin call, and they sold 60 shares of my Netflix. I think it was these three right here. I'm not sure, but I know they're 60, right? And then because my average cost was 94, right? My other position was down so much that I started to sell off some of my Netflix myself just to try to keep from selling SoFi, RobinHood, and ICOI, right? Because I had significant loss in those positions. So it was better to take a small loss of about $900, I think, than do something as far as like being down 4,000 and 5,000 position. I mean, $4,000 or $5,000 in other positions. So I sold off a little of my Netflix. But anyway, it just kept getting worse. You all are familiar with it. So the last time I sold was February the 5th, 75 shares at 81. So I got rid of all my shares of Netflix. So I had a total of 100 and an average cost of 94. And as you can see here, is at 96, 97. So right now, technically, I would be able, if I was able to hold on. And if I had bought this in a cash position, I would still have it. But my margin position, I no longer have it. So that's what I want you to see there. All right. So, but I do have 10 shares of my cash position that I have right now, right? So, like I said, it's at 96.99. It's down $2.03 at overnight market. Market value is $9.69. We're down $75.76 for an average cost of 104.56 for 10 shares. All right, next we'll have Granite Shares, Cohen, COYY, $4.56. Market value is $228. We are down $269. Average cost is $9.95 for 50 shares. You can see here we have a pending distribution, 50 shares at 0.0895, $4.48. Next, we got Granite Shares Yield Boost NVIDIA, 15.16, down 17 cents. Market value is $379. We're down 141 for average cost of $20.82. 25 shares. You have a pending dividend of $7.29. So paying out 25 times 0.29. Next, we got Granite Shares AMD 1579. Market value is at 520. We're down 227. Average cost is 22.67. 33 shares. All right. We have 33 shares at 31.32 cents for $10.47. All right. Next, we got YieldMax Mr. Performance 20 target 25 is at 35.21. Market values at 176.56. All right. We're down 56.69. Average cost is 46.55 for 5 shares. All right. As you can see, we've had distribution of 85, 83, and 82. AMC is at $1.15. Market value is $11.50. We're down $406 for an average cost of $1.56 for 1,000 shares. All right, next we got Defiance NASDAQ 100 Lightning Spread Income ETF is at 41.19. It's down 91 cents right now in the overnight market. One market value is 164. We're down $24.84. Excuse me. Average cost is $47.40 for 4 shares. All right, so it's 4 shares time basically 17 cents. And with this particular one, does it show any more activity? Let's see if we can find activity. All right, so this particular one, what happens is, let's see here. So what basically it pays 3 times a week, and then it's designed to pay twice a week, right? But because of the distribution days or the day it pays out, so 1 week you'll likely get paid 3 times, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the following week, Tuesday, Thursday, and then it just keeps repeat. So 2 weeks out of the month, you get paid 3 times in a week, and 2 weeks out of the month, you'll get paid twice per week. All right. Hope that wasn't too confusing. All right, round hill, Magnificent 7 cover call. This is going to be Maggie. All right, 46.51. Our market value is at 139. We're down $17.97. $52.50 for 3 shares. We have a pending distribution of 84 cents. All right, next we got Round Hill AMD 37.80. Market value is 112.95. We're down 36 cents. $36. Average cost is 49.66 for 3 shares. All right, as you can see, we had a distribution of 65 cents, 144, and 116. Next, we got Round Hill COIW Coin, another coin product. All right, market value is at 115. We're down $63.48. Average cost is 22.34. We have 8 shares. All right, you can see we had distribution of 62 cents, $1.35, and $1.61. Next, we got Granite Shares HIMS, $8.83. Market value is at 74.95, and we're down $100 for an average cost of $19.54 for 9 shares. Has a pending distribution set for 75 cents. Next, we got Round Hill Hood. All right. You can see it's at 25.45. Market value is at 76.36. We're down $77 for an average cost of $51.15. 3 shares. All right. So 0.52, 0.76, and 105. Next, we got Granite Shares IONQ ETF, $11.29. Market value is at 112.90. We're down $66 for an average cost of $17.96 for 10 shares. And we have a pending distribution of, for 10 shares, paying 23 cents for $2.28. Next, we have Granite Yield Boost Gold Miners NUGY, $20.28. Market value is 162. We're down $23.96. Average cost is 23.28. Average, not average. 8 shares. We have a payout of $3.10. All right, next we got Round Hill Palantir. 27.81. Market value is at 139. Total return, total return is a negative 47.25. All right, average cost is 37.26 for 5 shares. And this is what now? Oh, Palantir. Let's see. All right, so we have distribution of 90 cents, $1.17, and $1.56. All right, next we got Granite Shares QBTS ETF, $11.25. Market value is at 101.26, and we're down $80 in that position. And the average cost is $20.15 for 9 shares. And we'll have a pending distribution of $1.94. Next, we have Granite Shares RGTI, or well, symbol is actually RGYY. 12.22. All right. Market value is 109. We're down $66 for an average cost of $19.61 for 9 shares. Have a pending distribution of $2.21. All right. Next, we got SEMY. All right. Semiconductor, $17.60. All right. Market value is at 140. We're down $29.09 for an average cost of $21.24. 8 shares, and we have a pending distribution of $3.87. Got paid 48 cents per share. All right. Next, we got, I think we did that one, right? Yep. Next, we got Rec Shares TSII. I believe that's right. TSII. Okay. So $20.48. Market value is 143. We're down $25. And we have an average cost of $24.19 for 7 shares. All right, you can see we have a distribution of 195, 152, and 143. Next, we got Round Hill Universal Pay WPay. All right, $35.90. All right, market value is at 143. We're down $26.44 for an average cost of $42.51 for 4 shares. All right, those 4 shares, well, have given me a distribution of 94 cents, $1.10, and $1.32. Next, we got YieldMax, Kavana, $24.99. Market value is at 124. We're down $64. Average cost is $37.91 for 5 shares. It has had a distribution of $1.37, $1.54, and $1.72. All right. Next, we got YieldMax DraftKings, $19.17. All right, 95.85 is the market value. We're down $61. Average cost of $31.47 for 5 shares. All right, you have a pending distribution of $1.36. All right, next we got YieldMax GME. All right, it's at $34.31. Market value is 137. We're down $6.66. Average cost is $35.94. And we have 4 shares. All right, so we had distribution of 148, 150, and 150. All right, next we got Hood, Hui of YieldMax, $30.25. Market value is $90. We're down 58. Have an average cost of 49.70 for 3 shares. All right, so it's showing distribution to be 99 cents and $1.03 and 115. Next, we got Platy of YieldMax. We got YieldMax Platy. All right, 41.42. Average. Market value is 124. We're down $30. Average cost is 51.45 for 3 shares. All right. So we've had distribution of 116, 118, and 143. All right. Next, we got Granite Shares Hood. $8.14. Market value is 105. We're down $75 for an average cost of $13.97. Boy, okay. So a penny, $2.05. Next we got, I might have to close the wrong one down. I'm not going looking for it. Nope, nope, nope. All right, next we got Bitwise. GME 26.01. Market value is 182. We're up $13.05. Average cost is 24.15 for 7 shares. All right. Our distribution last was 7 shares at $1.29, $9.01. All right. Now we got Big Wise. I believe this is Circle. All right. 28.32. Market value is 169. We're down $20 for an average cost of $31.80 for, I believe maybe it was at 6 shares, right? So distribution amounts, we've got $10.06 and $7.62. All right, next we got Neos BTCI, $32.63. All right, market value at 130. We are down $53. Average cost is 46.04. All right, we've had distribution of 417 and 304. All right, next we got Neos NEHI 3182. Market value is 95.46. Total return is $62. Average cost is 52.77. 3 shares. 452 and 274. All right, we're almost finished here. Then we got Rec Shares AIPI, $35.10. All right, market value is at $40. Oh, no, $140. And the total return is a negative $20, and average cost is $40.28 for 4 shares. All right, we'll have distributions of $4.65 and $4.15. It's a monthly paying ETF. All right, next or last but not least, CEPI by Rec Shares, $30 even. Market value is $150. We're down $25. Average cost is $35.17 for, yeah, we went right there. All right, let's see here. All right, so we've had distributions of 626 and 557. All righty. So this is our cash account. Show you something right quick. If you go back and we look at video, let's see here. This video here. And this is going to be, let's see here. All right, how do I do this, people? How do I do this? Did I just mess up? Yep, here we go. All right, so this is year 2, week 17. Name this portfolio is RobinHood Portfolio Update Return on Capital Charles Swap. So I had done this I made this video December 28th, and I was talking about return on capital, and I was talking about these positions here, right? And so if you go back and you started at somewhere around the 20, I think the 19, start at the 19, you'll hear me start. It's going to drop some sort of tax credit or tax advantage that works out. So that's the reason why I wasn't too worried about Coney, even though I was still trying to get my average cost down and build my position up. because I was anticipating that even though my average cost in Coney I think was either I was at 1075 or 1050, and Coney was at 7. Let's just say 7, right, or 6. I'm thinking after the first of the year. All right, so let's not listen to that dude. All right, but let me show you what he's talking about. Let's see if I can pull it up here. All right, so this is a snippet I did of that video back then. Is that right? Back then? Yes. Yes. Is it the same? Yes. 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 I'll keep saying yes to myself. Okay. All right. So how did I wanted to show you all this? Oh, so this is the video and this is the screenshot, right? All right. So I wanted to do a comparison. So I wanted to go. All right. Let's see how I do this. All right. So, Charles Swap account, the actual account, right? And what happened to my, okay, here it is. All right, now let's go back here and pull this up. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna do a sort of side by side comparison if we're able to. So back then, what I was saying on the return of capital, and the reason why I wasn't planning on selling my 12,000 shares of Coney, even though I was down significantly in that count, I wasn't going to sell at all, right? Wasn't selling my Coney, but they ended up doing a reverse split. So that sort of changed things up. And I think I can't remember how I got out of that position. I think I got margin call and I had to give up the Coney. Um, I think that's what it was because I don't think I just sold it. Um, Hold on, let me make sure my video's still recording here, people. Let's see here. How do we want to do this? Well, always something, ain't it? All right, so we still recording. There we go. All right, sorry for that. Keeping it real, keeping it raw, like King Gray says. All right, so I was talking about return on capital, and I had 12,000 shares of Coney. And I think my average cost I had gotten it down to maybe $10 and some change, right? And the price of it was probably down to $6 or $7 per share. And they did the reverse split. That sort of messed things up for me. If it wasn't going to do a reverse split, I would have held on to it, right? I can't remember at this point if I got margin called on it or if I had to sell it. I can't remember. I can't remember, right? But anyway, what I wanted to show you was if you go back and watch that year two, week 17 video and get to about the 19-minute mark and listen to what I was saying, something always happening, right? So check this out. So, this is all right. So this is December right here. All right. So if you look at Kavana, you see I had 6 shares, and I literally since January in December I haven't bought really any shares, right? I mean, I just been trying to survive the market. So you can see here cost per share, which is what this column is right here. It's over here. Cost per share was $40.07 for six shares, right? And at that time, it was just $38. All right, now it's at 25. But check this out. So the $40, the shares are still the same, but you can see my cost per share is down to $30.63. I believe this has something to do with what they call return on capital, some sort of tax advantages that you can. Um, let's see here. I thought I'll pull up something. Let's see here. I thought I had pulled up something. People. All right. Yeah, I got something here. I'm gonna have to read it off. It says return of, I think it says return of distribution, ROC. What did I pull up here? But anyway, just let me just verbally get to it. All right, so uh, then we got this one here. You can see back then it was $23.35. It is still $23.35. Nothing has changed other than the price has gone from $19.47 to $11.80. Right. Next we have Hood, HOOW, 2 shares, still 2 shares. Then it was $56.46. It is now $54.13 on the cost per share. All right, ICOI. Well, we can't go by that because I did add some shares to that one. So let's go down to the next position. All right, so this one is iCircle. I didn't have much. It was 11 shares then. I still had 11 shares now. It was $31.28. It is now $30.09. Next, we got iETH. Back then, it was $34.18. It is now $31.50. All right. We can't go with that one because I did add some to it. We can't go with that. So Morrow was $21.92. Right. It is now $12.42. That's the return on capital or return on distribution. Right. You can see it dropped. My initial average cost was 21. It's down to what, 565 now. All right, next is Misty. That's the big one I wanted you to see. Back then in December, which was what, just 4 months ago, when after they did the reverse split, it was $82.19. I haven't added any new shares. And now at 61.38 is my average cost. And these are the things it does after the first of the year regarding either return on capital, return on income, or return on distribution. So I had mentioned that in that video, and I wanted to show that to you all, right? So that's what that is. All right, now the actual position here. All right, so you can see here my cash position in this account. We are down. Is that right? 44%. Is that right? We're down $3,500.96 from 8,000. Oh, since we're talking about that. So another thing is that return on capital. What is that? What is that? Cost basis. So it lowers your cost basis. As you can see, I went from 91 then to 8,000 on the cost basis. And the cost per share, even though I retained the exact number of shares for those various positions that I mentioned. I just wanted to mention that if you go back and watch that week 17 video, that may make some sense. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about now? Because I'm just getting, Q&A. I was getting ready to end it. Q&A. Let's go check some Q&A out right quick. All right. All right, so it was back in January. So let's check this out. All right. So some of these comments are going to be very old, right? All right. So music time. It was like music time. Music says, be serious, my dude. If a person invested in that fund any day except what y'all call Liberation Day, they would be losing money. I love, what do you say? I love the dad. I don't know what he's saying here. Chasers, y'all gloss over the most horrific stuff. Good luck with that margin call tomorrow. I said, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. All right. So, boom. All right. Maximilian says, no more. He said, no more COYY. I said, I have 50 shares of COYY. I used to have 12,000 shares of Coney, and of course, right now I don't have any shares of Coney. He says, I got 25. All right. Kelly says, I don't have any Defiance or Granite shares. I says, that's perfectly okay. That's not a bad thing not to own these. I'm just sharing my information. All right. All right. Sniper Wolf says, man, why everything so bad? I said it's been that way for sure the last 5 months. Now I guess you can say the last 6 months. All right. Dividend sis says YieldMax mindsets. I can't get these. I got weak. I don't do anything over 35%. I says you are talking about the margin maintenance now. I'm not suggesting anyone purchase these positions. It's just for information and showing what distribution amount is. All right, let's see here. I think we're here. All right. Band 5444 says, been waiting on you. This was 3 weeks ago. He said, been waiting on you. Where have you been? Winter storm, um, no heat, no power, trying to stay warm, then trying to recover. Had my mom staying with me for about that whole month. She had trees all down in her yard. We were blessed to have Samaritan Purse to come out, and they worked. Matter of fact, they just got her yard cleaned up last Saturday. She had pine trees all down, pine trees limbs all down in her yard. So we just got that taken care of last week. So it was a blessing that they were able to come out and volunteer their services. I really appreciate that because I didn't have the money nor the manpower to get out there and do that. And they came out with some bobcats and chainsaws and they went to work. Amen. All right. So getting back to here, he says, been waiting on you. Where have you been? The market has been brutal these last few weeks. I don't know if he was implying that I was hiding and what, but I didn't have no internet, didn't have power, and didn't have internet even after I got power. So for weeks. He says I wanted to increase my position in these lower cost stocks and ETF, but I also didn't want to catch a falling knife. Just beating, abiding my time, trying not to get a margin call. I says I caught up. Oh, I did explain it. I got caught up in the winter storm, no power, no Wi-Fi, even longer for several weeks. A lot of tree branches down. Just gotten some clear this past week. But yeah, okay. So I did mention all that. Okay. Okay. All right. Mike Lester says this was 3 weeks ago. He says, "Glad you back. Glad you're back, best bro. Miss you lately. Scooped up a mess of GDX right at the perfect time before the big drop. I don't know if it's a good to catch them right before the big drop. I think it would be good to catch them after the big drop, in my opinion." He says that on individual rhetoric has been crashing everything lately, but gold stocks are wise to have to move stuff over to at times. I says I see that it's about 75.23. Let's see what it is right now. Let's see what it is right now. All right, that was 9 days ago, 3 weeks ago. So let's see what it's at now, y'all. 75. Ooh. Let me take a sip. Let me take a sip of this juice. Just juice, and there's no liquor. Mmm. Mmm. All right. All right. So it was at 75. It's right there. It looks like him. Boom. Just fall. Just falling. Yep. All right, let's keep moving. So that's all that. Go to the shorts. And I did get a few shorts out here. I think right here, 16th. Let's see. I'll be able to tell if these are old ones. I think these are old ones. I think these are old ones. I think let's move up to around the 30th. Yeah, we'll start here at the 30th. Yeah, because I got Winter Storm. Got God's Star says, I think this channel is proof that YieldMax will make you go broke. SCHD or Johnson & Johnson. I says, I won't blame YieldMax for my investment strategy. I will take the blame myself for my bad investment strategy. Hopefully people see that from this channel and grow from that. Naked A757, aka Michelle, says, is this in RobinHood? Are you able to create separate accounts? I am only able to do one taxable, one Roth, but if I can do more than one taxable and I separate my testing strategy, that would be great. I say, yes, Michelle, Robinhood app that I'm using. So within the Robinhood app at the top, you have a little pause. If you click on one of those plus, I was trying to say plus, it allows you to create separate accounts. You're allowed to create up to 10 different ones. All right. This was 13 hours ago. Okay. Well, thank you, Michelle. She just answered not too long ago. She says, since then, I created a couple more and just saw the new custodial accounts. Yes. 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 Robinhood just did custodial accounts. Robinhood is getting ready to do dividends account. Oh man, there's so much information. Yep. hmm Yep. All right. Mike Lester says, hope all is well. Haven't heard from you in a while. 9 days ago, as I said, things are starting to get back to normal. Got my internet back. It's good to hear from you, brother. Excuse me. Craven God says, dude, why are you still in these high yield ETFs? Dude, look back at BTCI 78. When the market is opening by 8 p.m. tonight, stuff is about to get hit hard. Uh, Michelle says, adding on, I've been adding on and averaging down as the price goes down. This would mostly be for the dividends because be they'll be cheaper. I'm not reading. So this will be most likely be for the dividends because they will be able to buy cheaper price point. That looks like 3D. Woo, got my eyes playing tricks on me. It says it will make any losses up within a couple of months. I says, yes, sir, I have some position in these ETF. He says, I got about 34K into QQQI and it's doing great with the dividend and price growth. That is wonderful. QQI, I believe it's probably by Neos, right? Right? Come on, I can't hear y'all. Is that right? Yep. Bingo. So here it is. Oops, what happened? There we go. Come on, quit tripping. No error. Show me some data. There you go. All right. Show me some data. Come on. Why you being stubborn? There we go. All right. So right now is at 50. Let's go year to date. So it is down from 54 to 51, which is not too bad. You consider how some of the other ETFs are. And it is paying pretty nice, about 60 something cents. That is nice. So it's at 51. So hypothetically, if we were to put 95,000 into here, 51.9, right? Times what, 61? That's $1,000 a month. All right, get back to where I was. Where was I? All right, so Hernandez, he's saying go. That's money. Mike says stocks have been down quite a bit lately, and I got nailed with 2 feet of snow. So I feel you on the storm. We loyal, homie. We will be here until your Wi-Fi returns. I appreciate that. I said yes. Stocks have been taking a beating since October last year. I suspect that your snow has melted by now. He replied back, he says, I'm from Maine, brother. Winners are brutal here all season long. Oh, sorry to hear about that, man. Sorry to hear about that. Yeah, that northern weather is something else when the winter. Like Minnesota. Mm, 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 how do they do it in Minnesota, y'all? I had a cousin, she stayed up there. Man, it was brutal. Let's see here. He also says, he said all over the internet it's been saying to sell everything cause the stock market would tank even more heavily than it has already since the start of Trump and Israel attack on Iran. I never believe analysis, so I held on and today it bounced. It did. It did, but man. Man, let's see what Monday has in store. Right. All right, I think that's all there. So that's the winter storm video. This video gonna be longer than I intended. Man. All right, let's see here. That was the winner. All right. Well, let's go and get ourselves caught up. All right, 2 weeks ago, Mike says, sorry to hear about the storm effect. You so much, my brother. Prayers are up with you and your fam. Stay safe as well. Regularly scheduled program, internet wise, return quick. Much love. I says, thank you, my brother. Thank you, brother. Saturday we had Samaritan Purse come out and do some work at my mom's house. Yes, that's what I was talking about earlier, if y'all remember. All right, victimizer. Mike says, I've only brought some GDXO for this year. I said, just to be mindful to set stop limits wherever you're. Yep. Set those stop limits. All right. Where we at? Here? All right. Mike Lester, 2 days ago says, hoping Monday would be a banger, my dude. 2 days ago. I said, laugh out loud. Nah, just some basic updates. Sorry. He says, I know, but I can always dream tomorrow will be a green day. With the Iran war escalating, it probably won't though. I'm down 1.5K right now. So far in the pre-market. How are you, bro? Well, let's see how I am in the pre-market. Let's see how I am in the pre-market. All right, so right now I am down just two. Oh, spoke too soon. I'm only down $148 in my investment account and my cash account. I'm down just 82. So right now I'm doing pretty good. Right now I'm doing pretty good. Uh, yep, doing pretty good right now. Hmm. So I'm just gonna be like, yeah, man, that war, what's going on? Oh boy, I don't know if we're gonna find any stability in the market. I mean, there are gonna be opportunities to take advantage of dips, But man, just normal stability, I don't see that happen anytime soon. All right, a podcast. Let's see. Going back to here. Let's go back to here. The 23rd. Okay. This individual says seeds have a better chance to grow than YieldMax or Granite. You still throw away your money on these stocks. Do you still hold any Coney? I says, thank you, sir, for your advice. Says, what are you invested in, and what do you suggest? I currently do not have any Coney, but probably will down the road at some point. He says, why would go back to a failure stock down the line? I just invested in FEPI and Bitcoin. Good quote. Thank you, sir. This individual says, how many shares do you have in each dividend? And I basically told him to go watch that video. It's a lot of individual ones right there. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Where were we? Right here. Is this where we at? I can't remember, people. All right, 7 days ago, he says, man, he didn't say man, but he says, wow, from making a 2 to 5K to this. He's showing what I'm getting because right now I'm averaging what? Just over 100 a week. And then the last week of the month, probably over 500. He says, you got to move to something else. I says, I got margin calls, so no longer hold the position that I once did. I haven't moved any capital dividends because they're locked in regular stock positions that are down. So I haven't been able to move that money to dividend position like I yet once had. Bless 14 Love says, you ever look at TSYY and PLTW? I says, I believe I have a very small position in those. Yep. Bro, I'm highly considering investing in Mist and Tesla. Do you think it's worth it long time? I said, be careful. Both of those have did reverse splits. Boom, boom, boom. No, I don't think it's probably. I think these are probably momentum plays now. Misty and Tesla. With Tesla, you can't, man. If you do, don't do margin. But Misty, I think when this crypto winter's up with, Mystic will be something that you could use as a momentum play. But to just hold it, I mean, if you buy it, well, I ain't gonna even say that. It ain't even that. All right. I think that's it. I wasn't trying to hold this video that long. All right, guys, I'm out. And as always, if what's the oh, and if it's an investment strategy that pays, we pay attention. And something else I can't remember. All right, I'm out.